You know, I just be driving myself nuts because I say stuff on this video and I go back to edit. I'm like, what was you saying? What you talking about? Now we can't use that. Okay. Welcome back, friends. It is Lauren, the Soap Witch, and it is time for another wash day. So I'm going to start off. First, I'm going to just show you what I'm working with, okay? Okay. This is day 3 hair. You know, that's how I like to describe it. It is, you know, I did. Okay, mouth. What I mean to say is, okay, y'all know I do my hair Sunday, I do a refresh day 5, and then I start the count over for the next style or whatever I pick on day 5 because I feel like it's only fair. I can't call this day 7 hair. It's not day 7 hair. So what I had did, if you've seen the refresh video, okay, was I did a little half and halvesies, which y'all know, or maybe you don't know, but I'm not against other people doing it, but I usually have an aversion to it. My OCD is like, we can't. What if they come out too different? I don't have to live with that. Okay. So what had happened was I was going to do the same thing I did Sunday on Thursday, but with gel, okay, with some alterations to see how things worked out. Only I don't know why I forgot that I didn't really have no gel left. I sort of kind of touched on this in the refresh, but them's a minute. Okay, so I didn't really have time to be yapping and talking about what I had did or didn't do. So this side was with gel, this side was with custard. But it was like, I mean, a minuscule, tiny, little bitty amount of gel. Like, I should have shown y'all what I was working with because it was teeny. Okay, so I would have any other time used more gel than I did, but I was like, well, let's just see what it looks like with this little bit. And then I used custard on this side. So here's the difference in what I had did from last week, just taking notes, you know, because this is like my hair journal, right? So I just have to have a record, okay, if you will. When I did my hair last week, let me start doing my hot oil treatment while I'm talking. First, let me tell you about my glasses. These are the last of the new glasses that I bought, technically the 4th pair. I said they were my least favorite. That does not mean I don't like them. They're just, I like the other ones better. But these are still nice. Okay. Now that that's out the way, because I knew you were interested. I'm gonna split my hair in half to start preparing for a hot oil treatment. Usually I spray a little water. I don't know if it really needs it. Come on, spray bottle. You do this every week. Just to make it easier to split the hair if I need to, but like my hair's not really hard or anything. Okay, so like I was saying, last week what I had did was I had saturated my hair before I added the foam. And so in previous, I don't know, videos or something I had read, whatever it was, I had seen people say that with some foams, I don't know if it's true with all foams, it's actually better not to saturate the hair and just do it on damp hair. Now, you know, have a little aversion to that, okay, because I'm high porosity. So I tend to do everything on completely saturated hair because that's where I be at. But I'm going to tell you that it actually did work better. And I feel like the reason that my style, even though I still liked it, wasn't quite as defined as this side ended up being, because this was the side that had custard. Was because, well, I did use a little less custard, but also I saturated my hair before I used the foam. But I really do think it works better when it's just not saturated. Yes, it's gonna split this in half, continuing on with the hot oil treatment. ADHD in full effect, y'all. Full effect. Okay. Just wetting that down to make this easier to split in half. Because that's how I like to do 4 sections, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You know, I just be driving myself nuts because I say stuff on this video and I go back to edit. I'm like, what was you saying? What you talking about? Now we can't use that. Okay. Anywho, we're not gonna hum and haw. We're gonna stop right here. Yeah. So anyway, I feel like using the foam on hair that is not like super saturated, because that works really well with the gels and the custard if I'm just using those by themselves, or if I'm using it like with a leave-in. But just the foam by itself, if I'm looking for definition, that is, and I'm using the foam as the first layer or the only layer, it works better when the hair is just damp or not fully saturated. And it also dries much faster because my hair dried in no time when I did the refresh. Okay, go moisten this up. I like to moisten my hair before I add my oil, just because, well, that was the first way I learned to do it. I've tried other ways, like I tried it on super saturated hair. I've tried it on completely dry hair, just added the oils, no moistening at all. And I just like it better when I moisten it some. It looks a little probably wetter than it is because it reactivated that product that I had in there. But I promise you I didn't put a ton of water in there. Y'all already know high porosity anyway. It's gonna eat this up anyway, like ASAP. Anywho, I'm wanting to do both of those again. What I did, I'm gonna do the gel and the foam together with more gel because I did not use much gel because I didn't have none. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the custard, but on my whole head, not half and half. This is Acute anointing. This is what I'm going to use for my hot oil treatment. To prepare for the hot oil treatment, I put it in a sink full of hot, steamy water, and I leave it for about 15 minutes. And so I did that already, obviously. And so now I'm just going to take it and dump it right on my scalp. I actually usually start with the front, but today I started with the back. It doesn't matter. Start on a section and start dumping it on your hair. Okay. And so after you dump however much oil you want on your scalp, you're gonna rub it in just like this with your fingertips. My scalp really likes the massage, and so we give her what she likes. I've seen a YouTuber that oils her scalp and her hair right before she does her wash and go. Like she puts her leave-in in and then oils and proceeds with like the styling products. You know I'm gonna try that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna take that oil that I just dumped all over my scalp with my trusty applicator tip, what I usually point out, and I'm gonna drag that oil down the rest of the hair. So last week I didn't do this, if you recall. I did a bentonite clay mask, which my hair I think really liked, and I am gonna do that like once a month. I probably stated that several times already, but you know. So just dragging that through the hair. Okay, so I dragged a bunch of oil through there. And then I put a little bit more in the palm of my hand, which I'm not going to show you because then I'm going to dump oil everywhere. And I just prayer hands like this and make sure I get my ends because they be dry. I do feel like a mixture of things helped me retain more length, especially from my last trim that I got in September. I feel like it was September. I've been doing these treatments, especially making sure I get the ends because they get so dry. And then the washing my hair and not actively like scrubbing my mids and ends, just my scalp and the top of my hair. I feel like those two things combined have really done me a lot of good. Okay, so I feel like this enough. The amount that I put on my scalp was ungodly. Okay, so after I go ahead and finish applying how much oil I think I want to apply, I just put it in a Bantu knot. Okay, so that section's done. And I'm going to do all of the rest of the sections exactly like this. Okay, done. Got all my Bantu knots going. So now I'm gonna cover it up with a bunch of stuff. Okay, first is the plastic cap. Okay, we're not doing this. Get on there. The bonnets. There's a big giant scarf. Okay, so my reasoning for putting on all this here is because one, I done got oil all over my shirt anyway. Okay, not all over, but I don't care about your shirt, it don't matter. I don't want to get oil everywhere, all over the rest of my clothes and my bedding. And then I feel like it'll just help insulate me. Because you know, body heat rises, it gets a little hot. So trap some of that in, the oil will do its thing a little better. I don't know, but that's the first way I ever seen it done, and it works for me, so I'm not changing it. That's the long and short of it. Also, earlier I had talked about how I felt like the oil was part of what helped me retain length. Let me just clarify, okay? Because this is not a hair growth oil. I don't sell hair growth products. I don't use hair growth product. Length is nice, but I care more about hair health. So this oil is more for moisture, help to keep your hair moisturized, because I feel like healthy hair, which is typically moisturized hair, grows. So, you know, you get the best of both worlds, but I'm looking for hair health here, moisture. So that's why I feel like that's why I feel like the oil has really helped, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed because it's late. I won't tell you how late because I have been doing so good, and I will see you in the morning. Okay, bye. Morning. All right, so it's time to go ahead and proceed with taking the stuff off. Okay, let's start there. Okay, to take these down, I'm just gonna twist in the opposite direction. Super easy. I feel like I used way too much oil this time. It's okay though. It won't hurt anything, but make me run out of oil faster, which I would prefer if I didn't. Okay, so it's all down. All right, so let me wash this hair. Do my deep conditioning deal, detangle, all that, and I'll be ready to go. Alright, time to get down to washing this hair. So I'm going to thoroughly saturate my hair and give it a nice thorough rinse. One, just to help get some of that oil out from the hot oil treatment, but also I want to shampoo my hair when it's thoroughly saturated. So in comes Whipped Wonder Whip shampoo, which I showed for half a second, don't know why. Anyway, I'm like out. Do you see that? Anyway, so that's how much I'm going to use for my first wash. Again, wetting my hair one more time. I want it fresh from under the water, super saturated, because I feel like it helps to distribute the product better throughout my strands and foam easier and quicker with less product. So here I am just scrubbing away at my scalp, not really doing my mids or ends, just kind of sticking with the top of the hair, scrubbing the scalp with my fingertips, not fingernails. Okay, and then I do it this way because I feel like the mids and the ends don't need as much help. Basically, from what I've read on the online, less handling because they're older hair and more likely to break, so, or be damaged. So instead of thoroughly, saturating them with soap and scrubbing at them, I just take what's left from the shampoo and drag it through the hair. Okay, so then I go ahead and give it a nice rinse, my hair being the it. And I like to use my hands to squeeze out the product, whether it's shampoo or conditioner, because I feel like it just helps to move the process along faster and I don't have any patience. Alright, so that's what I'm using going into the second wash. Far less, but trust me, you'll see that I need less for the second wash. I've heard that if it lathers, the easier it lathers, the more it lathers, whatever you want to call it, then that means it's clean. So I use very little shampoo the second time around. It lathers very nicely. I don't think I need more. Do the same process. Drag that lovely foam down through the ends. It's so much fun, why wouldn't I? Moving on to Twilight Tempest Deep Conditioning Hair Mask. So I also like to apply it to saturated hair for similar reasons. Not that I'm looking for a nice foamy lather, but I do feel like that it distributes through my hair easier and I can use less product in the mix. And so waste not, want not. Look at how thick she is. Love that. So that's how much I'm using on the whole half of my head there. And so I'm just taking my hair into the water one more time just to make sure it's nicely saturated, and then I'm going to just start taking that product and applying it all over that side of my hair. So I like to just go all the way from roots to ends, make sure I get all of it nicely coated. I use my hands to work it in really well. Go in with the unbrush because it's the best, you know it. And I start from the ends of my hair and work my way up to the roots. And for my detangling method, I like to brush and then follow through with my finger comb, brush, finger comb, and I feel like that gives me the best wash that, not the best wash, the best detangling. Sorry, the best detangling. And so since I feel like this is the best method, I haven't really been wanting to change it up. I don't feel like it's necessary to fix things that are not broken. So I feel like the finger combing catches, sensitive knots or tangles, and the brush does a pretty good job on its own. Don't get me wrong, I like it because I feel like it helps to get out all of the shed hair, and then those knots and stuff. Like the brush has soft bristles. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth today. Soft bristles, so it doesn't just rip through those. So I just feel like it would take longer to get through those with the brush than it would just doing a gentle finger comb and then follow through with the brush, if that's making sense. Really hope so. Sometimes I know I just be out there like, what is your mouth doing? Anyway, so this is just the whole side of my head, getting finished with this all the way to the back, getting that kitchen, getting all that, just making sure it's nicely and wonderfully detangled. Okay, so I then go and just braid that side of my hair that is now freshly detangled, so I can get it out the way and try to help, preserve some of that wonderful goodness while I'm sitting there doing the other side. Any additional product that ends up on my hands, I just kind of wipe it back on my hair. So I did the other side. That's how much hair I did
I always usually say I didn't lose. I don't know why I'm tripping over my mouth today. I didn't lose much hair. That was for my entire head. Okay, so I sat with it in my hair for about 20 minutes. I don't put a plastic cap over it. I don't sit under a hooded dryer. Just because I'm high porosity doesn't mean I can't. I just don't really think it's necessary for me, so I typically don't. But my low porosity son, I have him sit under the dryer because it absorbs into his hair so nicely that way. So with me, I just usually sit for about 20 minutes, like I said, without a cap, and just let it marinate and do its thing. The steam in the shower just, to me, really just does a good enough job that my hair soaks it up like I would like, and it's looking nice and juicy and moisturized, as we can see here. So I'm just giving it a nice thorough rinse and just showing it off, because why not? Also, it's just nice to see the progress. It's easier to measure just looking at it from that direction versus the way that I used to do it. So anyway, the hair is looking nice. It's looking very moisturized. I just went ahead and wrung it out a little bit, since I am doing a different style and I don't like for my hair to be stopping wet when I do a braid out. So now it's time to go ahead and start styling.
Okay, always nice to be done with that. Today I'm gonna do a braid out. I've only ever done one like as a refresh, and it really made me love and adore it and wonder why I never did it before. And so the only thing, I'm gonna fix my part. The only thing with refreshes is they only get 3 days. So I never really get to see how they stand the test of time. That's good enough. Okay. Need some clips. Alrighty. Unprepared as usual. Alright, so I usually, like last time, I think I put a towel on my head for a little bit. I ain't gonna do that. I wrung it out a little bit when I got out the shower. That'll be good enough, because this side's gonna want to be dry by the time I'm finished with it anyway. High porosity, you know. What I'm gonna do is just start putting the hair up and working on the hair I want to braid in sections. So I always kind of hum and haw and fuss with this front, like how much do I want, because it's like a chunky-ish braid out. Like I'm not doing no whole bunch of braids. I do a chunky twist out, I do a chunky braid out, and when I do this I always part with my fingers. I don't know if y'all noticed. I'm not gonna do no intricate process here. So I think I'm gonna start with that being my first section. So first product I'm going to use, it's gonna be 2 products for styling. It's gonna be Curly Concoction Styling Cream, and it has become my favorite for pretty much any style that's not a wash and go. Braid out, twist out. When I did the flat tip twist with the perm rod set, I use these 2 products. So that's how much of the styling cream, curling concoction I'm using. I'm just gonna rub it in between my hands, get some on my forehead, it's cool, and then rub the rest down the hair shaft. Okay, so typically this front area may need a tiny bit of extra product. I don't know, because that is my most coarse hair. I actually think it might still be trying to recover from damage. It was heavily damaged. If you saw my hair transformation video, which I will pop up there so you can check it out, you will see it was damaged. It was coarse, didn't even have a curl pattern. Even when I tried to coax it into one with gels and stuff, it was just like, nope. It has come a long way, but I still think it might be coming along. So anyway, I've rubbed this in thoroughly, and that might be good. Guess I'll just stick with that and see how it looks. Next, I'm gonna go in with Enchanted Concoction. I actually kind of purposefully named this one like almost after the Curly Concoction, because when I was testing, this is the Custard, by the way. The Custard is Enchanted Concoction. When I was testing the Custard, one of the things I did was test it with this product, doing the braid out. That might have been the first time I used them together, and they work so incredibly well together. I was like, it's a match made in heaven, y'all. So yeah, I might do a teeny bit more. I didn't even show how much I used the first time. Shame on me. I mean, you're gonna use whatever suits your hair, texture, type, density, all that. So I mean, seeing how much I use, I don't know how much that is helpful. I do usually show y'all anyway though. The first time it was probably maybe that much, right? I'm not using a whole lot. I'm not really wanting to create a hard, strong gel cast. And when I did this, my hair did feel soft, like every time. I'm wondering, because that is not going to braid in there very well. I might stick that in with another piece or something. I don't know. Because I just feel like that's going to end up being loose. I do want to brush this. Just detangle. You know, this brush is my favorite. Okay. There we go. And I'm just gonna braid. I don't know how to cornrow, so we don't do that around here. I'm jealous of everyone who can. And then I'm just like a regular braid, okay? But I'm trying to pull it tight as I go. I've seen people just twist when they get to the bottom, so I'm gonna do that. We'll see how that goes. I don't remember what I did last time. It might have been what I did last time. So I think I'm gonna do this one here, like this. All right, so some of the other hair is gonna get like re-moisturized or whatever. It'll be fine. Okay, I feel like that's enough. Okay, so that's 2 braids. I'm going to go ahead and finish this and come back. Okay, I'm starting to super annoy myself. So I just was talking and the mic was not on or nothing. I turned it off to save the battery in the middle of doing my hair, but I don't know, I might stop doing that because it's the frustration of my life. So I got all these braids in, and you missed where I talked about what I was doing. So just a recap, I took some additional custard and just rubbed it up here on my very coarse, like gray hair. Gray and coarse, because some of it's coarse, some of it's gray, some of it's gray and coarse. So I just rubbed a little extra on top like I usually do when I do my flat twist out, and then I just tied it up with this here scarf. That was all you missed. Okay. Now I'm gonna sit under the dryer. I'm pretty sure that it took me 2 hours the last time I dried this when I did my, what was it, refresh. So I'm just gonna dry it for 2 hours, see where I go. But I don't do 2 hours straight because I can't. So it's like an hour, I go off and do something else, come back, do another hour. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. And then we'll see what happens. Okay, bye for real this time. Okay, friends. Why am I laughing? I'm sick of this. Okay, home stretch. I'm over it. I'm tired of this. This is why I only do these styles once a month. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these down. I don't know why I always start in the front, but I do. I did twist at the bottom because, you know, when they get real tiny, it's just hard to keep braiding. So that was what I had did. It made the bottom much easier to unravel. I got that tip off somebody on YouTube, but you know, I don't remember who it was. So yeah, just going to unravel at a snail's pace. Most people, when they're taking down these styles, they put some oil on their hands, which is the smart move. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's not the smart move, but I just don't. And there's no good reason. Okay, so you'll go ahead when you're taking down your styles and put some oil on your fingers. It's ideally supposed to help with what supposed to help? Oh, keep it from getting so frizzy. You know what I'm saying? A little less friction, and that's what that's about. And I'm like overly careful even when I'm taking down any style like this, because, you know, just raking your fingers through and all that, it will give you frizz. And so I'm real careful when I take these down. So I'm not just like raking through hair or any of that. It's similar to the way that I do it when I take down my twist out. Of course, with a twist out, it's a little less time to take it down. My arms, not my hands, are already tired. I tried to braid these as tight as I could, just so that, you know, I would get the most definition and get up here to lay down, not be so puffy. I don't care how I do twist. If it's not a flat twist or a bunch of tiny twists, the roots are always puffy. That's why I always do flat twist. And also because I'm lazy. And I don't want to do a whole bunch of individual twists. I'm sure we've discussed that before. And also they sort of separate themselves, you know, when you do a flat twist. So there's just so many pros, you know, and well, I can't think of any cons. Okay, are we finished? So I'm gonna separate these. I'm just sort of just separating where the hair seems to want to be separated and lifting this up just a little bit. So I don't want it to look like it's glued to my head, you know. I just didn't want it to be sticking up and frizzy looking because I'm not a fan. So that's all we're doing here. I don't want to separate it too much. So I think I might leave that. That looks pretty good, guys. Tiny, defined. Okay, and usually I struggle with this first section, but I must have did something right today. So I like to separate, like in any style, whether it's braids, twist out, or curls. I like to separate as I go. I don't take it down and then come back and separate it all just because I don't like doing that. For me, I just feel like it's quicker. Okay, anywho, so I'm gonna finish taking this down, come back, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, it's all down and it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I know the back is going to need to be picked because I'm sure I got sections that are, let me get my words together, what I'm trying to say. I know I'm gonna have some like spaces where you can see my scalp. I don't like that. So just gonna turn around. It's non-super, yes it is, it's terrible. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my pick and lift and see if we just can't get that to go somewhere. Go somewhere without your business. And then I just will take and just, you know, move stuff around with my hands. I think that looks pretty good from what I can see right here. A little something. I don't want to do too much. That's good enough. So these, whatever. This is the final look. These are the final results, however you want to see it. All right. This is it. So we're done with that. It didn't take forever, but I'm glad to be done with it. I sat under the dryer for about an hour and 45 minutes with lots of time air drying because I was doing a lot of work. You know, Sunday's the day I work on my business, so I was working on a lot of stuff for Black Friday. Oh yeah, it's coming. So I would sit in the dryer for like 30 plus minutes, take a break, do some work, do it again, take a break, do some work. And then the last time I sat on there for like 45, and then that was about all I could take. I had a little section in the back that felt like it was still trying to be wet or a little moist. So I just took this and it was like kind of right at the root. So I just dried that. It didn't take much. And then all the rest felt dry. So, okay, that's enough yapping about that. I'm satisfied. I'm really happy. I think it looks really good. I love this combination. I think it'd be a great combination for high porosity, maybe medium porosity, people with more coarse hair that are not low porosity. I think the Custard is fine for low porosity, but I would not recommend the styling cream for a low porosity person because it's really thick and heavy with butters and oils, and that's just historically not so good for the hair type. I don't use it on my son. The Custard would probably be just fine, or even the foam, because I've done some styles with just the foam and it looked really good too. My son, you know, the low porosity, he's obsessed with the foam. He's like, Mom, can we do the foam? Anywho, so yeah, I'm happy with the style. Okay. So with all that being said, let's talk about products that I use today real quick. So everything that I used today except for the styling cream was Tropical Fantasy fragrance. The styling cream was strawberry patchouli because I made that stuff forever ago when I was still using strawberry patchouli, and it takes me forever to run out. You saw how much I use on each section, not very much. And so, yeah, anyway, that's off topic. Moving along. I also have other fragrances aside from those two. I have lavender, patchouli, eucalyptus, spearmint, and an apple aroma scent. Not lavender, I already said lavender. Lemon pound cake, and I also have unscented for those who struggle with fragrances. I thought of y'all. Okay, so I will put all the products that I use in the description below. You can check those out. And they will also be on sale for Black Friday. Also, let's talk about the hair journal, y'all. Just a quick little commentary about it. Because as I've stated before, YouTube is my hair journal. What are you saying? Where I can just kind of track all of the products and styles and all of that stuff that I've done over the years to see what has been the overall best and healthiest for my hair. And so I have a actual digital journal that you can download that in essence will help you do the same thing. It's got sections where you can just kind of go over and figure out your hair types, whether it's the letter number system or the porosity. And just you can track what type of products you've been using, what types you would like to use, what you can research, what types you think would work well for the type of hair that you have, and just kind of note over time how your hair is doing. It really is a good tool to help promote hair health. And I love promoting hair health because if you're interested in hair growth, that's the path. That's the path. That's how you get there. Importantly enough, I feel like that's why porosity matters so much, because moisture is a big part of hair health, one of the biggest parts. as far as, you know, what you can do. How does your hair hold or accept moisture, and what can you do to assist it with that? You can kind of know all those things in the journal. So I got that listed below in the description if you just want to check it out. And what you think about today's lip gloss? I don't know why. Just because you can't already see it. Okay, and this one is dark mauve. Is that how you say it? What's this one? I'm a fan of it. I just wear the glitter ones the most and the browns because I think they just suit me, but I think this one is pretty. All right, so link in the description below if you're interested in any lip gloss products. And finally, the earrings. Think about them. I know you've seen them like 150 million times, but I make resin earrings. I made a lot of resin products a while back, and I didn't keep all of them. They were under a different brand at the time, but I kept the ones so far, just earrings, that I felt like really matched the Soap Witch Crafts brand. So they're listed on my website, and there's a link below if you want to check those out. They are all one of a kind, so none of them will look exactly like what I'm wearing, and none of them are exactly the same on the site. I like one of the kind. One of a kind. What did I? One of the kind? Stop it right now. So I like one of a kind. I'm the only one that has it. I'm a fan. That's that. Did I already say that they were linked below? I think I did. Well, if I didn't, it's linked below if you're interested in the earrings. Okay, so with all that being said, if you hung around to the end, I really do appreciate you just chilling with me and giving me some time, because you can't get that back. It's the most precious commodity. So I appreciate if you're willing to spend any of that time with me. So thank you for that. And if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And with that, I will see you later. All right, bye.